respect. And so I'm curious, like, what does that mean to you? Like, what does somebody coming to you with respect look like or without?
Like, you won't walk up into my cell and take something from me. You won't walk up to me and say, fucking fag, or use the N-word, something to that effect. You won't do that with me. I get funny stares and I get funny looks, and if he's standing next to a person who knows me, oh yeah, that's Remy. Remy do this, or Remy, Remy ain't no punk. Remy is who she is, but at the end of the day, Remy stays to herself. Remy does what she does, but if you go fucking with her, then you're going to open up a whole different can of worms. So most people don't come at me that way, but for others, sadly enough, I've seen where dudes have disrespected girls, like chased them out of the pod, or extorted them. That's disrespect to me. And now some might have cases like pedophilia cases or sex offender cases, but otherwise, respect for me, clearly, is when you see me, you recognize me, and you treat me the way you would want me to treat you. That means a lot to me. And when you start going off kill, and if I come to you, sometimes I won't even, I might not say nothing if it's not a big thing to say anything about. But if you do it more than twice, then that's when I'm going to say something. And usually we're going to either bring it in or we're going to let that shit go. So, otherwise.
Okay, so what do you see or experience in this place that really bothers you or is most harmful to you?
The thing that bothers me the most is you see so many young cats coming in and you think it's cool to be in prison. That's number one. Number two, I see so many girls that come through, so many trans women that come through, and most of them are homeless on the street. You can tell they were homeless in the street. I ain't never been rich, but I've always had, because I've always stole for what I wanted. But I mean, when you look at most young people that come in, I mean, it's heartbreaking to see that a lot of them will jump into gangs. A lot of them will get tricked sexually. Girls will come in, trans girls will come in, and they'll get raped, or be pressured into having sex. And I'm emotional. I am. I mean, I might look tough, but I'm emotional. I have a sense of compassion. And certain things bother me because I'm very passionate about certain things. This, what you see, is what you see. So I make no apologies to anybody. So when certain things affect me or affect someone who I feel I have something in common with, it bothers me. Especially if I sat down and I tell her, you shouldn't mess with such and such because he's an abusive guy. If you move in the cell with him, he's going to force you to do certain things and blah, blah, blah. Those things like that bother me. But I mean, I think the best thing to do, is to just, keep your circle small. And I mean, I think that my sense of compassion still allows me to care. And I'm glad about that, because I know some insensitive bastards is in here that don't give a shit about nothing and nobody else but themselves. And I'm glad that despite all the years, I'm 60 years old. So despite all the years, I'm still sane. I'm still morally grounded. I mean, I'm a rational thinker, and I'm respected. I mean, I wish I could have transferred all of that out there, but unfortunately, I chose this over that. So yeah.
Dude, I just want to follow up. I'm gonna show you this. You're being noisy. I just wanted to follow up on what you said, dude. When things like you described happen to women in here, is there a way for them to get help or protection?
Oh, you got the prayer. You got prayer. I mean, you can follow prayer. Another thing I don't like about that is you got some girls who will use prayer on dudes that they don't like. Mm-hmm. So you abuse the privilege of having prayer. Yeah, you can go to the office, but they might lock you up. You know what I seen them do one time? I seen them. This is an incident. No names mentioned. The two people are still here. One person made a prayer claim. He was taken to the hole. I was later called out to be, questioned about what I knew about the case. And the only reason they called me is because the dude who the allegation was made against, he asked for them to call and talk to me. I had been with the dude before too. So I knew the dude, and the dude was in the pod with me. He slept next door to me. I also knew the person whom with he was living with, the girl who made the claim. Long story short, she put a false claim on him because she didn't like him, and she felt threatened by him. Now, mind you, I know the dude, so the dude really ain't a threat. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, he'll come across as a threat, but if you know how to handle him, he's not really a threat. And she put a claim on him. They took him to the hole. They asked me what happened. I told them what I felt had happened, and they asked me clear point blank, do I think that he raped her? And I said no. Now, flip side, here's another situation. May she rest in peace. I hope she don't mind me telling this story. But my friend, I knew I shouldn't have did this. She was in a situation, and the dude was drugging her, and at first, like, I was bothered by it, but I couldn't save her from it because she wasn't ready to be saved. She chose the drugs over being saved. Mind you, I don't come from that. You know, me growing up, I don't come from any of that. You know, I've always been taught to stand on my own, to fight, and I've always been blessed to be nurtured with strong principles, strong values, and a strong belief system. So I don't come from the things that I came out here to experience. But anyway, she was being drugged, and long story short, she came to me one day and she told me, me and her sat down, and her dude, we sat down and we cried with each other. And I said, well, what do you want to do? I mean, we could have jumped the dude, and she had already, mind you, she had stabbed the dude. But the dude was so overwhelmed and obsessed with her that he wanted to be with her for whatever reason, control her, whatever you want to call it, enslave her. So she's saying, well, we're going to do such and such and such. And I said, babe, whatever you want to do, I'm on board with. So we got rid of that nigga. You know what I mean? Excuse me. But we got rid of him. And I mean, but here's the trick to it all. We didn't use prayer. We didn't really use prayer. But here's the trick to it. They moved the dude out of the pod, took him from Unit 3, put him in Unit 2, and then moved him back from Unit 2 and put him back in Unit 3, but not in the same pod. So this is why I don't like to deal with staff, you know, for lack of trust. because